So I moved back to Bali in a week, and I thought maybe I should come on here and actually vlog and talk about what the process is like as I'm leaving and what it's going to look like as I get there, because so many people ask me about living in Bali and how did I do this as being 41, a black woman, a single mother, what am I doing for work? How, the fact that I'm living across the world without my family, most of my family lives here in New York City, and what does that all look like? So I'm gonna make this first video logistics. I'm gonna talk about visas. I'm gonna talk about how am I able to do this with my son. I'm going to talk about, and don't mind my nails, I'm literally replacing them. I'm gonna talk about what to bring, what not to bring, accommodations once I'm there, assistance with my son in childcare once I'm living over there, the actual process, like the flying portion of getting over there, how much all of this is costing, kind of go through it nitty gritty. And I'm probably going to miss some stuff, so I'll probably make either part two or I'll redo this in the future. But I just want to give you a little bit of understanding of how this works and how this can be doable for you. First off, this even started because I essentially started having a mental breakdown. I went from growing up gifted to then full on girl bossing. I started working at 14 and haven't stopped. Even in the last decade of my life, I spent building a seven-figure beauty brand. Then I pivoted into brand and strategy consulting, and then now I do AI art direction, creative direction, creating visual assets for luxury brands in the beauty, fashion, lifestyle space. It just never stopped. I just kept going, and eventually I just burnt all the way out. It really started during COVID when I became pregnant, and I was living alone at the time, and also too my business started really struggling due to the fact that we were sourcing from all over the world and we were having supply chain issues with COVID, and then it just never let up. And I know so many people have that same story of 2020, we feel like you've been in 5-6 years worth of hell since then. So with that all being said, I just started really breaking down mentally and physically. My hair started falling out. I was having multiple panic attacks a day. I was seeing a therapist. I started seeing a psychotherapist. They put me on antidepressant pills, anti-anxiety meds, all the things, but nothing was really working, to the point where I started feeling like if I'm not going to make it, if I don't do something drastically different. I was living with my sister and her kids. We were essentially renting a large apartment and then sharing it together. And we both talked about it and we were like, listen, we got to get out of here. So what we did, it actually, she found me having a breakdown on the porch, and she listened to me and she was like, it's not you, it's this place. And she was like, I'm feeling very similar. So we just talked about it, and I was like, yeah, what if we went to Bali? And we kind of said it, laughed it off as a joke, and then it just stuck. And the more it stuck, the more we thought about it, and then let that thought go. But in a couple months, I was essentially listen, if we're gonna do this, we got to do it now. The way that my cash flow is set up, I have to do it now. So in 2 weeks, we packed up our entire apartment. We gave away everything, threw the rest of it away. We didn't even have a chance to really sell much. Put some stuff in storage at my mom's house, some stuff in storage at my brother's house. I went to go stay with my brother for 2 months in order to stack up more money. And then I left just like that. And I lived in Bali for a year and a half. I've recently come back to my brother's house for the holidays to spend time with the families, since I haven't seen them since I left. And now I'm headed back. I can see myself doing this probably for the next 2 to 3, maybe 4 years of where I live overseas, and maybe I just come home for the holidays. And so far, it has been life changing. It literally saved my life. I could not recommend it more. And the biggest thing is that it gave me my bandwidth back, right? It allowed my brain and my body to rest. It allowed me to stop having to take on more clients. It allowed me to let go of clients that were problematic, all because I was able to drastically drop my cost of living by 70%, while still now actually having a better lifestyle because I was able to afford more things. So I was able to put my son in private school. I was able to put him in hobbies, and after school, I'm getting massages, I'm getting facials, I'm going out to eat constantly. I stopped feeling trapped and I started feeling human. It was a massive deal for me. So I say that all to say that you can do this. Most people can do it. I know for a lot of us, you might have family situations or life situations or healthcare situations that don't allow you to leave. But for those of you that can leave, but essentially you just give yourself a lot of excuses or you feel like you can't do it, I'm going to kind of like talk you through and show you on your journey like how I'm doing it. And maybe you can do something similar. Maybe it's not as drastic as mine, as moving 24 hours across the world and, living there for years. Maybe it's just going down to Mexico every 3 months for 2 weeks or whatever's going to work for you. But let me walk you a little bit through. So, first things first is budget. I left with about $3,000, and that was for me and my son. When it comes to budget, you're thinking about the visas. The visa, you can get in Bali, you can get a 6 months visa. It's called a C1 visa. And keep in mind, I do another video, maybe I'll put up like links and stuff like that. But this is just for like general purposes sake. So always do your own research. You can look at Google, all those type of things. You can get a 6 months visa. It is actually a visa for 2 months, and you can extend it 2 times, which makes it a 6 months visa. And then after that, you have to leave the country for at least one day, and then you can come back and start a new visa. That takes about 5 days to approve, and it's about $60 to $70 a person. Done. And you only need to have $2,000 in your bank account. And if you're applying with your children, your bank account also works for your children. So it's not $2,000 per person. It was just like $2,000 altogether as a parent. So the visa, you can do it all online yourself. You don't need to hire anybody. It takes probably like 30 minutes. You need to, pictures of your passport, pictures of your bank account statement. You submit it and you wait about a week and you get approved or disapproved. I've always gotten approved for all of the visas. So that's it. The other option too is you can do a visa on arrival, which gives you 30 days in Bali and you can extend it for one time. On arrival, I believe it's like $40. And the extension, I feel like, is somewhere around like $60 to something like that. That would give you 60 days in Bali, and then you have to leave at least for a day, and you can come back and do it over again. If that better fits your budget or your timeline, you need to come in and come out right now because you also don't need to show your income statement if you're doing visa on arrival. That's also an option. So I know a lot of people get it up, but like, what about the paperwork, babe? A lot of these places, you can just go, you can just leave, you can just get there and like work these things out while you're there. So that's number one. Number two, else that was in the budget is accommodations when you get there. Bali has a preference. So I'm in Canggu, Seminyak, Umalas is probably where I am at the most. It's also like you might hear Pereranan and Mangu, and these are all neighborhoods that are all within like maybe a 45-minute circumference of each other. That's where I prefer to live. A lot of times when you see Bali on videos and stuff like that with all the waterfalls and the jungle, that's a bud. That's about an hour up. It's another choice as well. For me personally, I'm a beach bum. I like sun. I like heat. I don't want to be around too much rain all of the time. A bud could be very rainy, could be a little bit damp, all those things, right? It has a lot of culture to it. It's beautiful. But for me, I want it to be by the beach. So I know a lot of people complain also to like Canggu and stuff like that. It's for tourists. I'm also there to like go shopping and go to and lay by the pool at pool clubs and eat at a million restaurants and stuff like that. That's the experience I'm there for. So for me, living in a touristy area or like on outskirts of touristy area is perfectly fine for me. It's probably because I'm also from New York City, so I like a little bit of the hustle and bustle thing. Does not mind. I'm not bothered by it. So, with that being said, there's so many villas to choose from. Like, you throw a rock, you hit a villa. That's not something to be stressed about. I like to use agoda.com to find my villas, or I like to actually walk around Bali and like knock on the doors. If I see a villa, like, I want to be like, can I see a room? How much is it? Da, 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 and you can go from there. A lot of the villas too, also they always have like their number, their WhatsApp number on their sign. So you could always just like text someone and ask for a tour. You can do that too. But agoda.com is really cool. I also find that a lot of the places on agoda.com, you don't necessarily have to pay upfront. You could reserve now and then pay closer to the date of check-in, which allows you flexibility. Bali's also great. You could rent places for a night, a week, a month, 6 months, a year. Like, it's really up to you. When we first got there, we literally moved every week because we wanted to see as many areas as possible. Now I'm over that and I want to move and I'm going to find somewhere I'm going to stay long term. But since I'm going back, I want to check out a few of the places up front person because there's like particular things that I've learned from living in Bali that I want to check before I rent a place for 6 months or something like that. And if you're curious about that, let me know in the comments and I could do another video on like your checklist when renting a villa in Bali. But I'm gonna rent a place first for like the first 2 weeks that I get there, and I'm gonna use that time, a few days, to just like go and check out some of these other properties and then move in. And like one of the best things, like over there, there's no credit score. In so many places outside of America, credit scores is not a thing. It's a made up fake thing. If you see something and you have the money, you pay for it, it's yours. You get it. Same day, next day, move in, buy it, delivered, whatever the case may be. None of this like shenanigans where you're constantly being tested and being forced into a certain subsect of society. So when you get over there, if you like a villa, you can just rent the villa, right? They're not asking you for all this paperwork. Like, it's done. So it's like one of the least stressful parts of the process is just choosing a villa. It's very easy to do. What else was in the budget? My son's school. So I needed obviously a childcare. And first, when I said my sister came, then my mom came for a year or two. So that was like really helpful. But I put my son in school. He went to private school. There are a multitude of international private schools in the area because it's so expat heavy. So that's not something you really have to worry about. You just need to worry about like choosing the right one that's right fit. But you can visit all of these schools have like visiting things set up. There's also too, you don't have to worry so much about like transcripts or the time of year you're getting there. A lot of them are set up also for like transient, like for families that are coming and going because they know like digital nomad people are like in and out. So you can come and be like, yeah, we're here for a month, put your kid in school, take him out. Like, there's a lot of stuff. Now, every school is different. That's also something. And when I go back, I'm going to go do a new school tour of different schools because since he's turning 5, I want to switch him from the school he's in because that school only goes up to 6 years old. So I'm going to switch him from the school he's in. So if you're interested in coming along on that journey, let me know. And then maybe I'll make a video about that, like all of the different schools and the differences with the different schools. But with the school, you just need to pay the school that he's in. I just need to pay an upfront like admin fee, which was like around like $400 US, and then you did 3 months upfront, and then after that you can pay month to month. And his school is about like $450 to $500 a month, and he was in there 5 days a week from 8 about 8 a.m. to 3 a.m. and it covers obviously snack, lunch. But the school is really great. And then his school is actually on like a campus that had like what they call kids clubs, which is also to like these places where there's like large playgrounds and activity centers, and it has like a restaurant, and the parents could co-work in the restaurant, and the restaurant used to even have drinks. They recently got rid of that. I don't know why, but that was awesome. And they have all of these things, and so you can also put your kid there for after school. So they would take them to the kids club, which is like a drop off daycare for the kids for after school, and that was only $3 an hour. So my son was essentially had childcare from like 8 to 5 every day. And then if he wanted food to eat or things like that, he could also order from the restaurant. They would run a tab for him. They would text me and make sure that it's okay, whatever he wanted to order. And I would say yes, and I would come, and then I would just like pay for whatever's on the tab and call it a day. And that was like 5 days a week. So I got so much time to be able to do things for myself because I was putting him in that spot. And then that doesn't even include nannies or none of that stuff. I didn't get a nanny when I was there before. This time I'm going back. I'm getting a nanny. So I'm going to go on a bit of a nanny journey. I can also share that as well. So let me know if that's something that you're interested in watching. Okay, and then flights. So with flights, when you're having the visa on arrival, which we talked about before was like that shorter 30-day visa, you need to have a flight into the country and a flight out of the country in order to get that visa, right? They want to make sure that you can leave. If you're doing the longer term visa, which is the 6 month visa, you only need a flight in, so you need to book a one way. This time just coming, I just booked one way flights for both of us. I actually booked it on trip.com. They have like the cheapest flights. There's specific times of the years where the flights are the cheapest. High season in Bali is from about end of April to September. And then after that, you have low season, which also corresponds with rainy season. And low season right now, I'm flying back. It's February, so it's low season. The tickets were around $500 per person each way. So spent about $1,000 to get the flights to go out. And whenever I decide to buy the tickets back or where we're going next, we're actually going to go to Vietnam in August. I'm going to spend 3 weeks over there. So I'll buy flights from there and then I'll buy flights back from Bali. But you really only need one ways if you're going to go spend a significant amount of time. So that already cuts down the cost on how much you need for flights if you're going by yourself or if you're going with a larger group. So at this point, we've covered visas, flights, childcare and schooling, accommodations, food. The culture over there is eat out consistently. Everybody eats out all of the time, whether it's through delivery or whether you're eating in restaurants. There's some days I'm in 3 restaurants a day. Now, I'm a big restaurant person, so for me, this is perfect for my lifestyle. Like, I'm obsessed with living this way. But if you want to cook, you can cook, whether you're in a guest villa, which is like shared villa with a shared kitchen, or in your villa by yourself. Like, there's grocery stores. I do normally do a grocery store run like maybe twice a month to get like essentials to have like in the house. But you can buy things and cook your own food if that's something that you would prefer to do. But however, there is no shortage of places to eat. I would say outside of Manhattan, I've never been anywhere that has as many restaurants as Bali, like outside of like Manhattan, Brooklyn. Never. You can eat out there maybe 3 days every day for the year and be nowhere near done. There's so many places to eat and almost all of the cuisines are represented. So this video ended up being so much longer than I thought. So I'm gonna do a part two, and I think I'm gonna cover like packing and transportation and healthcare, the thoughts, maybe safety, anything that you want to know in the part two, let me know in the comments and I will try to address that in the part two. But yeah, thanks for coming along. I think this is going to be really fun, really interesting. When I get to Bali, I'm going to like make like different style videos as well. But I feel for like just for like this experience of like getting out of there and first getting there, I'm kind of just going to show you it raw AF. All right, bye.